Let go, relax, and let this story bring you to a place of calm. Devil and the Forest Guardian. This story is about a girl named Bluebell and the forest guardian, Salvia, who work together to restore magic to a forgotten forest. Once upon a time, in a little village on the edge of an ancient forest, lived a kind-hearted girl named Bluebell. Every evening, she would wander into the forest, enchanted by the whispering leaves and the songs of hidden creatures. One day, as the sunlight filtered through the dense canopy, she discovered a shimmering trail made of twinkling lights. Curiosity piqued, she followed the trail, deep into the heart of the forest. There, in a glen surrounded by towering trees, she met Salvia, the forest guardian. Salvia was a majestic being with an aura that glowed like the moon. She had hair like cascading ivy and eyes that sparkled with the wisdom of centuries. Salvia welcomed Bluebell warmly and revealed that the forest was alive and needed their help. The trees were losing their spirit, and magic was fading due to human neglect. Bluebell felt a surge of determination and promised to help restore the forest's magic. Together, they tended to the plants, sang to the trees, and spread whispers of care through the woods. Days turned into weeks, and Bluebell's bond with Salvia grew stronger. The forest began to flourish, and magic once again danced in the air. Bluebell learned valuable lessons about harmony and respect for nature. When it was time for Bluebell to return to her village, Salvia gave her a special seed. "Find this in your garden," she said. "Eat it and it will remind you of our friendship and the magic we created." Bluebell returned home, her heart filled with gratitude. He planted the seed, and from it grew a magnificent tree, a reflection of the enchanted forest. And every evening, as Bluebell sat beneath its branches, she could hear the gentle whispers of the forest, reminding her of the beauty and magic they had nurtured together. Let's drift further into peace with the next story. Veronica and Hannah's Celebration. This story is about a young girl named Veronica who discovers the true magic of celebrations through her adventure with a kind witch named Hannah. In a quaint little village nestled between rolling hills, lived a young girl named Veronica. Had striking green eyes and auburn hair that shimmered like the setting sun. One day, Veronica heard tales of a kind witch named Hannah who lived deep in the enchanted forest. They said she was the guardian of celebrations, bringing joy wherever she went. Excited by the stories, Veronica set out on an adventure to find Hannah. She traveled through lush meadows and dense woods, her heart pounding with anticipation. As twilight began to settle, Veronica came upon a clearing lit by countless fireflies. At the center stood a cozy cottage, with a garden brimming with blooming flowers. Hesitantly, she knocked on the door. A warm, gentle voice invited her in. There stood Hannah with long silver hair and a twinkle in her wise eyes. "Welcome, dear Veronica. I had been expecting you," Hannah said with a knowing smile. Veronica was taken aback, but quickly felt at ease in Hannah's presence. Over the next few days, Hannah taught Veronica about the magic of celebrations. They made lanterns out of colorful papers, baked sweet pastries that filled the air with delightful aromas, and danced under the moonlight with the creatures of the forest. Veronica learned that celebration wasn't just about grand events, but cherishing the small, everyday moments of life. On the final evening, Hannah organized a grand feast for the entire village. Everyone gathered in the clearing, hearts light and laughter filling the air. The night sky sparkled with fireworks that Hannah conjured, each burst a testament to the joy they all share. When it was time to leave, Veronica felt a mix of happiness and sadness. "Remember, Veronica," Hannah whispered as they hugged goodbye. "Celebration is in the heart, and it will follow you wherever you go. Veronica returned to her village with newfound wisdom and a bright spirit. She began spreading the joyous celebration, making everyday moments special for everyone she met. Veronica and Hannah's bond remained, bridging the mundane and the magical. Together, they had shown that life itself is the greatest celebration of all. Now, let's embrace the next chapter. Veronica and Clover's Dreamy Journey. This story is a heartwarming tale of Veronica and her curious kitten, Clover, who embark on a dreamy journey exploring the wonders of the cosmos together. In a quaint village nestled between rolling hills and sparkling streams, Veronica lived in a cozy cottage surrounded by blooming gardens. Veronica had a curious kitten named Clover, who was always eager to explore the world beyond their home. One evening, Veronica gazed up at the starry sky, her heart filled with wonder. "How big is the universe, Clover?" she mused aloud. The kitten purred and nudged her, as if to say, "Let's find out together." As they drifted to sleep, the room began to shimmer with a soft, golden light. Veronica and Clover found themselves in a meadow of dreams, where the grass glowed and the flowers whispered secrets. And walked along a path made of stardust, and each step sounded like the tinkling of tiny bells. Suddenly, a luminescent butterfly appeared, its wings adorned with the patterns of galaxies. "Follow me," it beckoned, and they did. The butterfly led them to a tree that touched the sky. Its branches were adorned with twinkling lights, and it harbored a swing that seemed to sway with the tempo of the stars. Veronica and Clover sat on the swing, and in an instant, they were lifted high into the night sky. They floated among the constellations, each one telling stories of ancient heroes and mythical creatures. Clover, with eyes wide open, marveled at the cosmic theater. Veronica chuckled as a mischievous star tickled her nose. Their journey continued to a floating island, where dreams were born. The island was a sea of pillows, and each pillow held a different dream. Veronica and Clover picked a delicate blue one and found themselves in a realm of floating lanterns. The lanterns floated around them like fireflies, casting a warm and gentle glow. Veronica reached out to one, and it whispered a lullaby that made Clover's eyelids droop. As they floated back to their cozy cottage, the golden light of twilight welcomed them. Veronica tucked Clover into her basket, her heart swelled with love. They sighed contentedly, knowing they had shared an unforgettable adventure. Drifting off to sleep, Veronica murmured, "Sweet dreams, my little friend." Here's another story to gently guide you to rest. Hero and Angelonia, the Sanctuary's Embrace. This story is about Hero, a kind herbalist, who befriends a dancing fairy named Angelonia, and together they create a sanctuary of peace and healing. Once upon a time, in a quaint village secluded by lush forests, there lived a kind-hearted herbalist named Hero. Hero's days were filled with mixing herbs and concocting remedies for the villagers. One twilight, while gathering night-blooming flowers, Hero stumbled upon a glistening orb of light hovering near the forest's edge. Startled yet curious, Hero followed the light deeper into the forest. As the light dimmed and revealed its source, Hero was astonished to see a tiny dancing fairy named Angelonia, whose wings shimmered like the morning dew under the moonlight. Angelonia had been separated from her kin and was searching for a sanctuary. In sensing her loneliness, Hero offered her a safe place to rest at his humble home. Angelonia accepted with graceful gratitude, and in return, shared with Hero the ancient secrets of the woodland fairies. Over the days that followed, their bond deepened. Together, They transformed Yarrow's garden into a sanctuary for both plants and creatures of the forest. Flowers that never bloomed in the village blossomed in vibrant colors, and animals found solace in the serene haven. Their sanctuary became a beacon of peace and healing. Yarrow found joy in every small miracle that Angelonia's magic brought to their lives. He showed him how to call upon the forest spirits and how to listen to the whispers of the trees. The garden thrived, and so did their companionship. When it was time for Angelonia to reunite with her kin, Yarrow felt a pang of sadness. But Angelonia reassured him that the sanctuary they created would always be there. She promised to visit whenever the moon was full, and the flowers bloomed under its silver glow. True to her word, every full moon, Angelonia's wings glistened once more in Yarrow's garden, bringing with her a touch of enchantment and a reminder of the sanctuary's eternal embrace. Together, they had created not just a place of refuge, but a symbol of the serenity and kindness that can flourish when hearts connect and spirits align. May your night be calm and restful, sweet dreams.